Good morning, Stash Squad. It is time to wake up and Barca. It is everybody's favorite morning show. This is for Cules around the world, where we catch up on all the headlines, have a little conversation with each other as we shake out the cobwebs, get a little caffeine, and start our day. In today's episode, we are going to talk about the international break, take a look at some player performances, including Serginho Dest, who was lights out for the U.S. men's national team last night against Jamaica. And we will also take a look at an interview from Laporta, where he reveals that he expected Messi to play for free, that we tried to sign Neymar last summer, and he doubles down on his support of Ronald Koeman. So we will talk about all this and more on today's episode of Wake Up and Barca. If you're just finding us, if this is your first time here, this is your invitation to join the Undefeated community. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel so you can be a part of the conversation and you can connect with Cules from around the world right here on the Undefeated channel. But let's go ahead and get this episode started, my friends, the right way. Woo!
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now tuning in to the Undefeated Mustache John.
All right. Yes, my dudes, we are going to talk about Newcastle as well because that's wild. That is going to have an impact on European football. I promise you that. So we will talk about that as well. Good morning, Kutis. It is Friday. Friday is here. Yes, yes, yes. I've got a butt ton of work I have to do today, but when that work is done, the weekend is coming and it'll be happy times. I get to play soccer tonight. I'm going to a comedy show tomorrow. Sunday, I'm going to the movies with a friend. It's going to be a good weekend. Let me know what you all have planned. How are you doing? Levi's here. Good morning to you, sir. My Indian nephew, Ayush. What's up, buddy? Man City fans right now supporting Newcastle. I don't know if they're supporting Newcastle. What makes you say that? If anything, I think they would be a little bit nervous about that takeover. But there's going to be some money at Newcastle. Some money. If you had to guess, who would Newcastle's first signing be? And will it happen in January? That's a possibility, I guess. I didn't look at the details of when the takeover happens, but if it's now, then they could start signing people in January. Am I right? That's a strong possibility. Oh no, what if Haaland goes to Newcastle? I mean, it's possible. It's a story. I always try to think of what's the storyline when there's a player transfer. And for Haaland, it could work out for a number of reasons. He could come to Barcelona and be the face of a revamped Barcelona. He could go to Newcastle and be the first legendary player to go there since, who's their guy? Oh, somebody who's older. Remind me. I'm embarrassed that I can't remember his name. I'm looking at his face right now. He's like one of the top goal scorers in the English Premier League. Played for Newcastle. Alan Shearer. Thank you, Levi. Oh my God. I was literally staring him in the face in my head. I'm like, what is your name? What is your name? I just watched an interview with him and Gary Neville. That was pretty interesting. Not Gasco. No, not him, Levi. Not him. Irish says Newcastle fans wore chic clothes to their stadium to celebrate. That's hilarious. You could get away with that in the UK. In America, you'd get some upset people saying that's cultural appropriation, yada, yada, yada. But clearly it's done in celebration. No offense meant or taken. So good for them. Listen, it's fun. It's exciting. It puts some life into a club that otherwise would have just been floating mid-table for who knows how long, you know? Do I remember when Blackburn were taken over? I actually don't. Remind me the history on that one. Irish says Haaland won't because it's a waste of a season without any trophy. Newcastle are 16th to 20th. Yeah, this season. But if next year they're able to bring in Haaland and others, they wouldn't stop there. They can get Haaland for $75 million. When City were bought, it was pretty interesting. because they were always seen as the little brother to Manchester United. And then when they were bought out, it was like, oh no, little brother went through a growth spurt. And all of a sudden you saw them sign players like Tevez. Who else did they bring in early on? Tevez is the name that jumps in, but Company was there. He wasn't really a superstar just yet. Aguero, of course, duh. But yeah, it was pretty immediate at Man City. You knew that times had changed. That's a fair point, Ayush. That is a fair point. There won't be any Champions League football for Newcastle for at least a year. So it might be a case where even if they have the money, they might have to make the right investments with people that are willing to sacrifice Champions League for a year. That's a good point. I still think they're going to put together quite a squad, but that is a good point. All right, folks, are we ready to catch up on some news? Because there's some things that we need to talk about. Well, hang on. Let's do U.S. men's national team results first, my friends. Look at this. 2-0. One of the best performances I'd seen from the U.S. And let's take a look at the stats. We'll do a quick little recap here, and then we'll catch up on the interview from Laporta, where he talks about Neymar and Messi and Ronald Koeman. We'll talk about that next. Shots on goal, 17-5. Excuse me, not on goal, but overall. 17 shots to 5, only one on target for Jamaica, 62% possession to the U.S., 510 passes. I mean, it looks like Barcelona. You know what I mean? With those kind of stats, that's what you'd love to see from the Blaugranes. If you take a look at the lineups, folks, this is a man to look at. Ricardo Pepi. I'm not saying that I have a new favorite American that I want at Barcelona, but I might have a new favorite American that I want at Barcelona. Check out Ricardo Pepi, 18-year-old striker, currently plays at FC Dallas here in the MLS. He seems to be unstoppable. He's had two matches for the U.S. men's national team, scored in his debut, had a brace last night. I understand someone's already, whatever, he's playing against Jamaica, blah, blah. Yeah. But our other strikers weren't scoring against this competition. Not with the consistency that we've seen, over, granted, 2 matches. But it's the technique, it's the mindset, it's the prowess that he brings, and the maturity as an 18-year-old that is really unexpected, but very welcome for the U.S. men's national team. A couple more to look at, just saying, Yunus Musa. He typically plays as a right winger for Valencia, already playing in La Liga, also 18 years old. He was playing as an attacking mid yesterday, and he could not be stopped going forward. He was weaving in and out, driving past the midfield, breaking through, set up Dest to inevitably play the ball into Pepe for the first goal for the U.S. men's national team last night. So it was excellent seeing Musa work with Dest to ultimately get the ball to Pepe, header in the back of the net. Mwah. Great performance from the U.S. men's national team. Great performance from Serginho Dest. And my friends, here's where it's important. Serginho Dest last night played at right back. This whole time, after being switched over to the left, there's been that question of, well, can he continue that form that we've seen, which has been spectacular on the left side? Can he continue it moving back to the right when Jordi Alba is match fit? When I started watching the match last night, that question was answered real quick, and it is yes. He can continue that form. He looked phenomenal. He was dancing around players. He was cutting inside, overlapping outside, 1-2 passes. Got the cross into Pepe for the assist on the first goal. Played about 65 minutes, and then it looked like he came off with a cramp. They've got 2 more matches, so I do want him to take it easy so he's not too worn out coming back to Barcelona. But excited for Serginho Dest getting some time at right back and playing well. We got some folks that jumped back in. Excuse me. Good morning, Simon, coming to us from Ireland. How we doing, friend? Connor, welcome back. Good morning. Levi says Spain beat Italy. Yes, we can look at that match as well. And Levi says, thought Dest was Dutch or something. He did spend time in the Netherlands, and he does have a bit of an accent. but he was born to American parents. He may have even been born overseas, but he was born to American parents, which makes him American, baby. Let's go. All right, let's look at the Spain versus Italy. And we'll jump back over to this screen. Nations League semifinal. Big upset for Spain, especially Italy coming off the run at the Euros, coming away with the cup. And speaking of Barcelona players, lots of reports coming out about people being impressed by Gavi's performance. So he's really coming into fruition. People were saying he's one for the future, but young 18-year-old, I believe, right? 17 or 18? I think it's 18. Somebody fact check me on that one. Let me know in the chat. I'm pretty sure it's 18. He's getting a lot of attention. Even folks like Valverde, Busquets was giving him praise. Very exciting stuff. Italy, 5 shots. Spain, 4. 75% possession for Spain. My goodness, 816 passes with 92% accuracy. Wow. That's incredible. Absolutely incredible. Koke, Busquets, and Gavi got the start. Very nice. Surprised to see Marcus Alonso out there, but I guess he is playing well for Chelsea. Kind of had a revital against, when Tuchel came back in, along with several other players. Looks like Sergio Roberto got the time. I actually didn't see this match. Man, I miss Luis Enrique. I do. I miss Luis Enrique. I think he had trouble with the board, and that's why he left. I think he would have loved to stay if there was different leaders at top. I got loose mustache hair here. Can I get it? There we go. Sometimes you get a loose hair, folks, that just goes up like this, and there's no course of action but to pluck it out and restart. What a metaphor for where Barcelona is right now. Barcelona is a loose mustache hair that just got plucked by Joan Laporta. And what's going to happen is it's going to grow back stronger, better, and be part of the undefeated stash. You know what I'm saying? Italy are overrated. I don't know. I guess that depends on how you rate them. They are European champions, which doesn't necessarily mean that they are the best national team in the world. It is one tournament. I understand that. If you look at their squad, Chiesa is really, well, Chiesa, Verratti, those are the only two that are like, wow, I would love to have those at Barcelona. Jorginho is amazing, but he wouldn't fit in at our club. So in terms of like world-class superstars, we'll say superstars, they do not have them. But in terms of world-class talent, they definitely do. So I would say it depends on how you rate Italy. If you think Italy's best in the world, then sure, maybe they're a little bit overrated. If you think that they are a traditionally defensive, strong tactically, and now dangerous up top because of Chiesa squad with the ability to compete with the best and the ability to win trophies, then I would say they are rated accurately. Ayush says Barea is a shout, and Bastoni too. Bastoni, yes. I have not seen Barea play very often. I don't watch a lot of Italian league, and I should. We have several Americans playing in there. Not several. Or do we? I think we have more than one. More than McKenny. I don't know. Somebody fact check me. How many Americans are playing in Serie A right now? Italy had a lot of injuries. Who were they missing? I'm not familiar enough for me to just shout out who's missing from the squad, so maybe you can help me out with that one. While you're talking about that, let's go into Barcelona news. Aguero close to return. Laporta chats with Xavi. That is clickbait, my friends. That is clickbait. We're gonna look at it, but I already read an article about the Laporta interview, and to have in the headline Laporta chats with Xavi is so misleading. So misleading. what Laporta said was, yeah, I have conversations with Xavi all the time because we're friends. That's what he said. Stupid. We're going to click on it anyway. All right, Laporta, he did not approach Xavi. That is so annoying. Aguero making progress and close to finally making debut. Apparently that's going to happen against Valencia. So if that is the case, do you think if we have Aguero, Memphis, and Fati available to us, how do we line up there? Do we go Aguero and Fati up top with Memphis as a false 9? How do we line that up? If that's our front 3, it gets even more complicated once Dembele comes in. But if you're looking at a front 3 of Aguero, Memphis, and Ansu, who goes where? Do we need to pause and take a look at that? I think we might. Have to. Let me pull this over here. We'll detach this. We'll take a look here, and we'll go there. Okay. So what happens when this is pulling up our continued conversation from the last episode of Wake Up and Barca. What happens when Aguero's fit? Does he take the place of anybody here? Let's just say for now, since Dembele's injured, Aguero comes in. What does this squad look like now? Now we got to shift things around. Maybe Busquets slides there. Pedri goes left. De Jong's here. See, now it starts to not really make sense unless you do something like this, perhaps. This could work. It gets a little bit sticky because none of those players play on the right-hand side. Ayush says Memphis right, Fati left, Aguero striker, Coutinho at cam. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it's going to be hard for Coutinho, Dembele, Aguero. It's going to be hard to get consistency. Memphis and Fati obviously start every match that they're available. But the question is Aguero, Coutinho, Dembele. And then inevitably, it's not going to happen this season, but do we take him out, go Dembele, and we go something like this? I think this is our most offensive lineup that we could go with, the most attacking formation and personnel. What do you all think about that? That's a possibility. One more change you could make, put Memphis at striker, take Aguero off, and put Coutinho at the number 10 there. That is a possibility. Ovi, good morning, sir. Says, man, Gavi was amazing. What's your thought about him? I did not see that match, but all reports are saying that Gavi was phenomenal for Spain and that he has a very bright future. So excited for him. Happy to see his progress and can't wait to see it continued on for the Blaugranes. You're saying a 4-2-2-2, Pedri and Depay at cam. Which one goes on the right side? Would it be Memphis? Again, we're just missing, until Dembele comes back, we're just missing that right side. Demir will come along. I'm not giving up on Demir, but he needs a little bit more time. Hey, nobody's back with us. How we doing, sir? Good morning. Said, heard last night that Barcelona could get Roberto Martinez while watching Belgium-France. Not true. I'm sure you did hear that. I'm not saying that you didn't hear it. I'm sure that part is true. But they're not looking at him. Laporta just had an interview that we'll talk about here in just a couple minutes where he doubled down on his support of Ronald Koeman. He said he had a conversation with him. He knows that Ronald Koeman's very passionate. I don't need to get into it yet. We're going to talk about it. But he has doubled down on his support of Ronald Koeman, so we don't even need to talk about it. Ayush Pedri is more offensive, but I think can play box to box if he needs to. For Spain, during the Euros, he was playing both sides of the ball, and that's why I've got some confidence in using him like this. there's other options. Once we have everybody full and fit, I guess that's my point. Once everybody is back and we're healthy and we're feeling good, we've got options. But Aguero coming back does make things a little bit interesting in terms of how Fati, Memphis, and Aguero will play. If they play together, they might not all play together. It might be that Aguero is just our super sub that doesn't really start matches. Ovi says 4-3-1-2, Memphis as Cam, and Fati and Aguero as strikers. Yeah, that's what we were looking at first. If we took Dembele out, we put Busquets back in, and then we're looking at something like that. And that's definitely a possibility where you could have Memphis drift out once we get the ball, or you have Fati drift out wide and Memphis kind of sneaks in right here. It could end up looking like that, and then Des pushes up this right-hand side. So when we get the ball, it could end up looking something like that. That's a possibility, because you know that we will shift formations a little bit, particularly with player movement on the attack side. And then when we lose the ball, Des drops back. Maybe Memphis comes back in here. Aguero goes here, and Fati comes in to help a little bit there. Maybe defensively it looks more like that. But then when we get the ball, he goes here. Aguero slides there. Fati comes over. Des pushes up. Boom, we're on the attack. That could happen as well. And I know you didn't see any of that because I didn't have it on the screen. Oh well. Whoops. We'll catch it next time. Nobody says the selection looks strong you have there, but Pedri as a holding mid, no way. Either play where Depay is or put one of the other attackers on. I disagree. I think he can. I think he can play box to box. If he has De Jong next to him, I wouldn't put him as the holding mid. But if you put Pedri and De Jong together as the two central mids, then of course De Jong plays a little bit more defensive. Pedri can push forward a little bit more, but they both have some responsibility on both sides of the ball. All right, let's get into the interview with Joan Laporta. Let's see if it's covered here. I think it was Marsa. Is it Marca or Marsa? I don't know. We'll see. That's what we want to talk about, though. I want to talk about the interview with Joan Laporta. Look at that. 45 minutes ago, Joan Laporta confirms we have every confidence in Ronald Koeman. This is from FC Barcelona's website. Maybe they'll have the same information, because what I saw in the article that I read earlier this morning was talks of Neymar, talks of Messi, and talks of Koeman. So I want to make sure we talk about all three of those. All right. Joan Laporta discussed the current state of Barcelona this morning during his interview with Catalan radio program El Món. RAC1. I don't know what that is. Excuse me. Barca's president reaffirmed his support for Ronald Koeman. Quote, "We have every confidence in him. He's our coach, and he deserves some leeway as he believes in the team and hasn't been able to call on the entire squad." Listen to that, friends. Listen to that. Laporta also highlighted that Koeman has Barca in his heart and is a Barcelona legend who's come during difficult times. Let me say that again. Laporta also highlighted that Koeman has a Shake out the cobwebs. Hang on. Here we go. Laporta also highlighted that Koeman has Barca in his heart and is a Barcelona legend who chose to come during difficult times. That's very important, folks. I've said this on the channel, that Ronald Koeman is one of very few people who are willing to jump on the grenade that is Barcelona right now. So be thankful. As we continue on, contract negotiations for Pedri and Ansu are going very well. Laporta, I love you, but that sounds familiar. So forgive me if I'm not going to get excited until I see pen on paper. Okay, I've heard that story before. On the players, Joan Laporta explained that the aim, quote, is to renew the contracts of the young players in the squad. Contract and negotiations for Pedri and Ansu Fati are going well. We hope to share good news next week, he advanced. Oh, please, that would be fantastic. We want things to look forward to. We want a light at the end of the tunnel, and renewing those contracts for the young players that we know are going to be superstars coming up. That's something to get excited about. Absolutely. All right. Laporta also spoke about Sergio Roberto's contract extension, confirming that he showed his true Barcelona spirit by agreeing to a pay cut. We are reconstructing his contract, and we just need to tie up a few loose ends. Again, Laporta, that sounds familiar. I need these to actually happen so I can start to trust it again. Because all summer long you were saying, yeah, Messi contract's all good. Messi contract, it's agreed, just got to sign. Messi is not able to sign with us and he's going to PSG. That's what happened. So forgive me for not having all the trust. Just sign these players and we'll get back there. We'll get back. He reminded that the other captains, Piqué, Busquets, and Alba, already took similar pay cuts. Lastly, Barca's president detailed the intention to pay tribute to Messi so that every Barcelona fan can acknowledge all that he did for the club. He deserves that. He also had a few words of acknowledgement for Pau Gasol. He's a player with an outstanding track record of winning who has always been appreciated. We'll team up with Pau in the future. Pau Gasol, former NBA player, currently playing at Barcelona in their basketball league. So nothing mentioned there about Neymar and Messi necessarily. First of all, what do you guys think about a tribute to Messi? What does that look like at Barcelona? Will it be a statue? Will it be some sort of memorial hall in the Camp Nou? What do you think is going to happen in terms of a tribute at Barcelona? And then also, we've got plenty of things to react to in that article. Do I think Laporta lied? That's a good question, Levi. Do I think he lied? I think he was less than fully transparent about the possibility of not signing Messi. I can say that. Let's see if we can get the article that I read earlier this morning. This is frustrating, of course. Luis Suarez, Coleman phone call to tell me I wasn't in his plan, lasted 40 seconds. Yeah, but you were also 10 pounds heavier and not willing to work hard at Barcelona. And then you get cut. All of a sudden you get motivated. You come back. You're all ripped, jacked, ready to score goals. I get it. But Luis Suarez was not the same Luis Suarez in his last year at Barcelona. Just saying. I read this one too. Essentially, the controversy is that Ronald Koeman is a little bit suspicious about Piqué and all of his side businesses and the investments that they're making, and is his focus on Barcelona. All right, where's the headline that I saw earlier? This is it. This is what I wanted to talk about. Laporta, I hoped Messi would offer to play for free. Now here's the thing. Somebody correct me in the chat. I'm pretty sure, Ayush, you may have even been the one who pointed this out. I'm pretty sure there is a rule in the Liga that a player cannot renew the contract for less than 50% of what they were playing for. I think that is the case. Somebody actually confirmed that for me while I catch up on the chat here. Ovis doesn't think Laporta lied. Levi thinks Messi's going to get a statue. I think it's going to be more. I think he's going to get like an entire wing at the Camp Nou. If any of you have ever been there, they have a whole like Barcelona museum. And I really think that they're going to have a whole wing dedicated to Messi. What else? Tommy Jackson, do I say football or soccer? I interchange. It depends on what phrase I'm saying. Here in America, if you're from overseas, here in America, if you call it football, you just sound like a douchebag. So if I'm talking to Americans, I call it soccer. Here on the channel, you will hear me call it football. From time to time, I go back and forth. It's the same thing, and it's a bit silly to argue about. I'm actually not fully sure on the history. Maybe I'll do a video on that sometime. Is it soccer or is it football? I understand traditionally it's football, and here in America, we have a different sport that we call football. So that's my answer. It's interchangeable for me. Yeah, I'm with you on La Liga having too many rules, and between the taxes in Spain and the restrictions that La Liga is putting on, I really do think it's putting a bit of a chokehold on big name players, superstars coming to and staying in La Liga. I mean, if you look at Real Madrid right now, and you look at Barcelona, yes, there are big names, but the biggest names in football, I almost called it soccer right there. Now I'm second guessing myself. The biggest names in the sport are not at Barcelona and Real Madrid. They're just not. Do I like any American sports? I mean, I watch some American football. I'll watch some basketball. I'll watch some hockey. I'm a fan of sports in general. So anytime that there's playoffs or a championship or something with some passion, I'll definitely tune in. Association Football Soccer Association. Obi says Barca is struggling to register their players, and at the same time, Newcastle is basically getting unlimited funds. True. Something will have to change eventually, and maybe when La Liga realizes the financial impact on their end, not just for the clubs, then maybe they'll start to realize that they need to make some changes. And I guess I don't really understand what's happening and why they are so restrictive. You know what I mean? I'm not sure. Anyway, let's get back to this article, because I think we're in agreement that there are rules that Messi couldn't play for free. So is this Laporta just throwing shade at Messi? I'm not sure. Joan Laporta has admitted that he spent the summer hoping that Lionel Messi would have offered his services to Barcelona for free prior to his move to PSG. Again, I'm not sure how that would have worked out with the rules. Would have he had to sit out for the first half of the season and then come back and play for free? I don't know. He continued on to say, I love him too much to be angry, Laporta said of Messi during the interview, but there comes a time when you see that things just cannot happen, and there was disappointment on both sides. It feels, if you read through this article, it feels like he's trying to throw some shade at Lionel Messi. It feels like a passive-aggressive, hey, you know, Messi could have done something to stay. I wanted him to. I wish he would have done this or done that. It's a little passive-aggressive. He does say he'll go down as one of the best players. We're going to have to do a tribute to Messi. There's one other part I want to get to in this article. Here we go. Despite their well-documented financial troubles, Barcelona have been linked with making a sensational move to bring Neymar back to the Camp Nou on a number of occasions since 2017. Quote, as the numbers were explained to us, we thought there was room to do it, Laporta said. They told us that he wanted to come and that he couldn't continue there, meaning PSG, having convinced the club to let him leave. But it's football, and whoever makes the best offer wins. Not signing him has been a good thing. It wouldn't have helped. That's referring to Neymar. So, folks, in the same summer that Griezmann and Messi left, Laporta was like, oh, I wonder if we can sign Neymar. That, to me, indicates that he's not being fully transparent about his intentions and what we can and can't do in terms of signing players. I agree that bringing in Neymar right now would not have helped. I think that's too much pressure and too much of an ego and attitude to be relying on right now. But nevertheless, it's making the headlines. Let me catch up on the chat here. We got some people joining the conversation. Cules says Newcastle may be turning into the early aughts Yankees in a year or two. Very possible, Cules. Good shout out. I love Cules making the connections and the metaphors to the American sports and the early aughts Yankees. I don't know if you knew this, Cules, but my father's from Queens, New York, so I am a Yankees man at the end of the day. So good shout out there for me. Levi says, should have let Messi go in 2020. I'll take a step further. Should have let him go in 2019. Ovi says, agreed, at least $200 million for him would have helped the club a lot. For Messi, yes, it would have been amazing. We could have gotten $200 million, would have been fantastic. But I would have sold him a year earlier even, gotten maybe $250 for him. Kudos, appreciate you explaining that metaphor. Nobody says he lives near Newcastle. Are you a Newcastle fan, Nobody? Do you support anyone in England? my good sir. I'm gonna get my hair out. My hair's getting so long, you dudes. Look at this. Do you guys remember when I had short hair? There's pictures up during the slideshow of our live matches. So if you weren't here during the channel, Clash Course, what's up, dude? I saw you in there. I forgot to say good morning. How you doing? I think somebody already answered this, but Tommy says, can you explain why Barca gave the number 10 away so quickly? I heard there was a rule in La Liga that the number 10 needed to be given to a player, but I'm not sure. Maybe it was just rumors. That is not just rumors. It is true. You do have to use numbers 1 through 25 in your starting lineup, and that includes the number 10. So we had many a conversation here on the channel about who would be number 10 if it would be happening. Ended up being Ansu Fati, which I'm okay with that. New generation, starting fresh, moving forward. Nobody, I hear you, and this is where a lot of people have to make that decision. Are you a Messi fan or are you a Barcelona fan? I had to make that decision when Ronaldinho left. For me, it was actually pretty easy. I was a Barcelona supporter. We had Puyol, Xavi, Iniesta, Eto'o. Lionel Messi was emerging. So I knew that Barcelona was the club for me. Those of you that are questioning right now, you need to make that decision. Some of you might find another club, and that's okay. But once again, I'll reiterate, for those of you that stick with Barcelona now, that support the club and ride with the badge when it's on the pitch, despite anything that's going on off the pitch, for those of you that double down on your investment, on your passion, on your support of Barcelona, the return will be tenfold. We will be back. We will get our financial status in order. We will get an elite manager at our club. We will bring in superstar level talent to merge with the La Masia players that are getting the experience that they need right now over the next year or so. You gotta be patient. It's gonna take a couple of years, but we will get back there, my friends. Visca Barça. That is going to do it for today's episode, my friend. Cules remembers pre-stash. Absolutely. Cules and I go way back. 2007, I believe. Cules, 14 years, my dude. Wow, we're old. Yikes. With that said, I'm going to hop off. I'm going to get my day going. I'm going to jump in the hot tub. I'm going to get a little exercise, and then I'm going to pump out a lot of work today so that I can enjoy my weekend. My friends, I hope you get to have a wonderful start to your day. I appreciate you coming in and hanging out with me. One more time, if this is your first time joining us, if this is your first time finding the Stash Squad, the undefeated community, welcome. This is your invitation to join. All you got to do is subscribe to the channel to be part of the conversation. Tune in every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for Wake Up and Barca, and then come hang out for all the live Barcelona matches where I will provide the commentary and participate in the chat with the Cules from around the world. Love you all very much. Thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate y'all, and I will see you next time. Thanks for tuning in, my friends. Mwah.